This school, in its present format, has been in operation for the past 6 months. And alhamdulillah, has been very successful. This success is in part due to your involvement as parents, but mainly due to the interest and enthusiasm of the children attending the school. Today we will have a wonderful program which will be presented by the students in a few moments. Ladies and gentlemen, you have heard time and again from a number of learned people, and I'm just quoting those words. These children are a gift of God to us. They were on Islam when they were given to us, and it is our responsibility that we preserve their Iman and Islam. Just as we do everything to take care of their physical needs, we should spare no effort. We should spare no effort in taking care of their spiritual needs. Alhamdulillah, you have been fulfilling your obligation by bringing your children to the masjid, to the majalis, and the religious school, and by supporting these programs. Religious education, like any other educational process, has very important roles for three main characters: the teachers, the parents, and the students. All these are very important to make this process of education a success. Teachers and students cannot do this alone. Your involvement as parents is extremely important for our success. We only spend a few hours once a week with your children. We request that you take a few minutes every day to reinforce the things your children have learned in the Sunday school. We try to communicate with you by sending with the children an assignment card which lists everything that they have done in the school and the homework assignments. Please review that with your child and feel free to contact the teachers if necessary. Inshallah, with your involvement and continuous support and the devotion of the volunteer teaching staff and the same enthusiasm of the children, we shall be successful in fulfilling our obligation, which is to make sure that our children grow up to be good Muslims and Muslims. Thank you, and may God bless.
In the sense that I am going to ask you to speak. मौलाना आपसे मैं दरख्वास्त करता हूँ कि आप कुछ बोलें. अस्सलामु अलैकुम. अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह रब्बिल आलमीन वस्सलातु वस्सलामु अला सय्यिदिल अंबिया वल मुरसलीन व खातिमिन नबिय्यीन अबी क़ासिम मुहम्मद अम्मा बाद फ़क़ाल अल्लाह सुब्हानहु व तआला फ़ी किताबिहिल मुबीन व वासिअत साबिक़ीन व क़ौलुल हक़. बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम. अल्लमल इंसान मा लम यअलम. 6 मिनट डॉक्टर काली साहब की फरमाइश के मुताबिक और काबिल मुबारकबाद हैं आप तमाम मोमिनीन व मोमिनात और खुसूसन वो हज़रात की जो इस प्रोग्राम को एक बेहतर तरीके से चला रहे हैं. जिस आया मुबारक को मैंने आपकी खिदमत में पेश किया है इसका ताल्लुक़ इल्म से है. खुदा ने इरशाद फरमा रहा है अल्लामा कुरान अल्लामल इंसान मा लम यअलम. हमने इंसान को उस वक्त पढ़ाया जब वो कुछ नहीं जानता था. जहालत सबसे बड़ी बीमारी है और हर बुराई की जड़ जहालत है. आज दुनिया में जितने भी झगड़े हैं वो सिर्फ जहालत की वजह से. وہ زندہ رہے گا, اس کی نسل چلے گی, وہ آپ کا احسان نہیں ہو سکتی. مثلاً بالا نسل یہ احسان آپ کا جاری رہے گا اور اس کا ثواب آپ کو برابر ملتا رہے گا, اس لیے کہ آپ نے جو چند جملے اس کو پڑھاتی ہیں. اور یہ احساس کب ہوتا ہے اس کو پڑھنے والے کو, جب وہ سمت شعور کو پہنچتا ہے, جب وہ پہچاننے لگتا ہے کہ ہاں اس استاد نے ہم کو. اور اسی مقام پر حکم شریعت یہ ہے کہ اگر علم کافر سے بھی ملے, اس سے بھی کافر سے بھی اگر علم ملے, یعنی واقعاً شریعت کے احکامات, اور یہ تو تعلیم وہ ہے کہ جو آل محمد علیہ السلام کا واسطہ ہے. اور اس کے لیے تو خود امام جعفر صادق علیہ السلام نے فرمایا یہ بچے جو ہیں ان کے ظاہراً نابالغ ہیں لیکن اصل وارث ان کے حضرت حجت ہے. امام جعفر صادق علیہ السلام ایک مقام پر فرماتے ہیں کہ یہ یتیمان آل محمد ہیں, اگر تم ان کا خیال کرو گے تو ہم تمہارا خیال کریں گے. اب جو حضرات بھی یہاں کے اوپر جس عنوان سے ان بچوں کی تعلیم کے سلسلے میں خدمت انجام دیتے ہیں وہ لائق تشکر ہے کہ واقعا وہ اپنا وقت خرچ کر کے سوچے کہ ویکینڈ کتنا اہم دن ہوتا ہے اتوار کا یا لوگوں کے لیے جہاں امریکہ جیسی لائف کے اندر کہ وہ اپنے گھومنے پھرنے یا فکر کے اوپر جائے, اور آپ صرف کاہے کے لیے, اپنے احیاء دین کے لیے, اپنے دین کی بقا کے لیے اپنا وقت خرچ کر کے یہاں پر تشریف لائے اور ان بچوں کو آپ تعلیم دیتے ہیں, تو اس کی جگہ یقیناً علیہ محمد علیہ السلام وہ دیں گے کہ جس کی کوئی دنیا میں دینے والا نہیں ہے. بس میں اپنے تقریر کو چند دعائیہ جملوں کے ساتھ تمام کرتا ہوں, اور اس تشکر کے ساتھ کہ خدا عالم خصوصاً جناب قاضی صاحب کو اور ان کی مصر کو صحت و سلامتی عطا فرمائے, اور ان تمام ان کے معاونین کو اور ان ٹیچرس اور خواتین ٹیچرس کو کہ جو ان کے ساتھ میں ہر طریقے سے تعاون کر رہے ہیں, اور امید یہ کرتا ہوں کہ انشاءاللہ اسی صورت سے تعاون رہے گا. اور میرا بھی جب تک قیام ہے دعائیں بھی میری شامل حال ہیں, اور جتنا بھی تعاون دامے دنوں میں سکھانے کر سکتا ہوں ہر طریقے سے میں کروں گا انشاءاللہ. اللہم صلی علی محمد و آل محمد وعجل فرجهم. بسم اللہ الرحمن الرحیم. اللہم انی اسألک بحق محمد وانت المحمود وبحق علی وانت العلا وبحق فاطمة وانت فاطر السماوات والارض وبحق الحسن وانت المحسن وبحق الحسین وانت قریب الاحسان وبحق العائمة الصفة الطاہرین من ذریة الحسین علیہ السلام ورحمۃ اللہ وبرکاتہ. پروردگار بحق محمد و آل محمد ہم کو احکامات اسلامی پر پابند ہونے کی توفیق عطا فرما, والدین کو اپنے بچوں کی بہتر سے بہتر اسلامی تربیت کرنے کی توفیق عطا فرما. پروردگار ہماری اس قلم کی عبادت کو قبول فرما, ہم کو اپنے بچوں کی بہتر سے بہتر دینی احکامات پر پابند کرانے کی ان کو توفیق عطا فرما. پروردگار خدمت گزاران اسلام و دین مبین کی صحت و سلامتی و طول حیات عطا فرما, اور اس کار خیر میں ہر طریقے سے جو بھی جس طریقے سے تعاون کر رہا ہے ان کو صحت و سلامتی اور طول حیات عطا فرما. حضرت حجت علیہ السلام کے ظہور میں تعجیل فرما, ان کے اعمال و انصار میں ہمارا شمار فرما. ربنا اغفر لي ولوالدي وللمؤمنين يوم يقوم الحساب. اللهم صل على محمد وسلم عليه ورحمة الله.
اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد.
شکریہ مولانا. My name and his Islamic name they mentioned he don't deserve. The next item on the agenda is Surah Yasin, part of it by Sister Zahra Hussain from the ladies section. Sister Zahra Hussain, Bismillah.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. Yasin, Yasin, Baruch Al-Hakim, I swear by the Quran, full of wisdom. إِنَّكَ عَلَى الْهُدَى وَالسَّبِيلِ, most surely you are one of the apostles. Allah صراط المستقيم, on the right way. تنزيل العزيز المجيد, a revelation of the mighty, the merciful. لِتُنذِرَ قَوْمًا وَأُنذِرَ آبَاءَهُمْ فَهُمْ غَافِلُونَ, that you may warn people whose fathers were not warned, so they are heedless. وَقَدْ حَقَّ الْقَوْلُ عَلَىٰ أَكْثَرِهِمْ فَهُمْ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ, certainly the word has been true of most of them, but they do not believe.
Our son, and Allah has spoken the truth. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. And now, Sister Sireen Roji remember, we want to very anxiously listen to you. Speak loudly and clearly so that we can hear. Bismillah. Sister Sabina Mutawi will recite Surah Al-Kafirun. Bismillah. Ahsan. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala Muhammad. Ahsan. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala Muhammad. I now invite Dr. Saeed Bukhari to tell you all where we have reached in this 6 months of running this Islamic Institute here in MASOM. Dr.
Rahim, ladies and gentlemen, parents, and my dear children, Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam.
I feel privileged to have been asked to say a few words about the school here in MASOM. The school was in its present format, as already mentioned by Brother Askari, started about 6 months ago. The starting of the school was felt necessary in a way that it is running now because we had lacked the administration of running the school in a sense that it would be more structured like it is at this time. Therefore, through the efforts of Dr. Kanji and Mrs. Kanji, the school was started with a very humble start. We had only few students, and mashallah, through concentrated efforts, now we have about close to 75 students between boys and girls altogether. We have been able to achieve certain things here, not perfect, but still I feel that there are some achievements in the sense that we have now a syllabus that is very closely followed. There are textbooks that have been given to children free of cost, and certain other things like starting the front desk, which where they all come in and sign up, and they are marked absent or present. And we also have now a small, very nominal fee of $5 per family. These things are all new really to this institution. The students have also been given identification badges, and I think with the name on their pockets, at least they can associate themselves now with this Imam Barga in the mosque. They have also have had very structured program of having periods where they have Quran lessons in one about 45 minutes, a short break where they are given lunch, which is a big attraction, of course. And then we have a second period where we have Quran lessons. Did I say Quran? Diniyat lessons, I mean. The second part of this education is, of course, to teach the namaz and wudu and namaz in a way that they can do it the proper way. Of course, we have problems with that. The children are learning, but at least the process has been begun. In addition, they also get practical lessons where they are demonstrated by one of the teachers, where they learn exactly how to do the wudu the right way, and how to stand in the namaz, and how to go for ruku and sujood, and etc. So I think they are learning. Of course, we are nowhere close to where we want our children to be, but we are certainly making some progress in this direction. In addition, we also have had audio-visual aids where video movies have been showed where they have been made in a very modern scientific way, where they talk about Quranic stories about the Prophet, stories about these little small ayats that they learn here, and present it to them in a very interesting way so that they can carry the message home. In addition, slides have been shown about Hajj and Jarat, etc. I think all these efforts are really very humble, I feel, and but they are a good beginning. The students have become to like the teaching here. They take interest in coming. Some of them even push their parents to come, and the parents are not very enthusiastic about coming. We have had few problems with attendance at times, but mashallah, the students seem to be able to like it and come here consistently. The other thing that we have had is a quiz program where the students were able to solve some of these multiple choice or yes/no type questions. This was not really a highlight of our school, simply because I think we are just beginning. The results are not as good as we would have liked to have, but certainly at least there was a quiz program where they were given marks and they were graded, etc. I would like to see this happen more often, possibly every semester, or at least maybe every 6 months, where they can be graded. We also have one more problem that I thought we should let the parents especially know, and that problem is not having enough teachers here. As you can see, mashallah, we have about 75 children, more girls than boys, and we especially need the lady teachers who can take over. We would ideally like to have about 5 students to a teacher, and as it is now, we have more than that students in each class. And we would like to have more participation and cooperation from the community in that sense, that we can have more teachers. I also feel that we are really doing this for our sake. We have no other person or entity to benefit. It is us and it's our children, and we have to, as parents, have to give due importance to this process, not only here, but also at home, where they can be given further instructions, maybe polishing of some of the skills on the namaz and reading Quran and qaidas and whatever else they learn here. I also feel that we should try to maybe inshallah one day when we have a bigger place, or we have a different location where we could do other activities. And one of the things on one day maybe we will be doing is having bigger structured classes where we would have blackboards and instructions like that. Maybe other folks in some also would like to really express my grief and my sorrow to Mr. Askari Hussain, who's a very able sister. Fatima was here with us and is no more here. She'll be missed forever. And we cannot forget her efforts and her teaching that she had imparted only for a few months with us here. I feel that that's all that I really need to say. If there are any questions, I'm sure there will be many that can be answered in the question and answer session. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Saeed. That was a very comprehensive address. And since there are many Urdu-speaking parents that would like to probably understand better, I request Dr. Anis Akbari to make a brief address in Urdu.
خواتین حضرات، بچوں اور بچیوں، السلام علیکم۔ اسلامک انسٹیٹیوٹ ایٹ معصوم کامیابی کے ساتھ جناب کانجی صاحب کی سربراہی میں اپنی ترقی کی طرف گامزن ہے۔ اس کی کامیابی میں صرف معصوم کی انتظامیہ یا معصوم کے ٹیچرز یا اسکول کی انتظامیہ کا ہاتھ نہیں ہے، اس میں ہر وہ فرد کا ہاتھ ہے جس نے علم کی اس بڑی نعمت کو محسوس کیا اور اپنے بچوں کو یہاں لے کے آتے ہیں۔ ہمارے اسکول کو صحیح طور پہ، اسکول تو کافی زمانے سے ہے، لیکن صحیح طور سے یہ اسکول 6 مہینے سے شروع ہوا ہے کانجی صاحب کی سربراہی میں، اور کافی حد تک اس نے کامیابی حاصل کی ہے۔ ہماری دعا ہے پروردگار عالم سے کہ یہ اسکول زیادہ سے زیادہ کامیابی حاصل کرے۔ ہم اپنے اسکول میں جو چیزیں اس وقت آپ یہاں دیکھ رہے ہیں وقتاً فوقتاً بچوں کو دکھاتے رہتے ہیں، جیسے ویڈیو کیمرہ ہے، جیسے سلائیڈز ہیں جس کے اندر تمام اسلامی مذہبی جو کیسے کو دستیاب ہوتے رہتے ہیں، ہم وہ یہاں لاتے ہیں اور اپنے بچوں کو دکھاتے ہیں۔ جس طرح نماز کس طرح سے ادا کی جائے، اذان کا کیا طریقہ ہے، یہ ساری چیزیں ہم ڈیٹیل میں بچوں کو بتاتے ہیں۔ ہم یہ اسکول ٹھیک 11:30 بجے ہم شروع کرتے ہیں۔ سب سے پہلے یہاں بچے آتے ہیں فرنٹ ڈیسک پہ، وہ اپنے بیجز لیتے ہیں جس کے اندر ان کا نام اور پور آئیڈینٹیفیکیشن وغیرہ ہوتی ہے، جس سے اساتذہ کو آسانی ہوتی ہے بچوں کو ریکگنائز کرنے میں کہ یہ بچہ کون ہے، اس کا نام کیا ہے۔ اس کے بعد یہاں سورہ فاتحہ ہوتی ہے، اس کے بعد خواتین کی طرف سے ایک دعا پڑھی جاتی ہے، اور پھر اس کے بعد جو ہے 45 منٹ کے 2 سیشنز ہوتے ہیں، ایک میں قرآن کی تعلیم ہوتی ہے اور ایک میں دینیات کی تعلیم ہوتی ہے۔ قرآن اور دینیات کے بیچ میں جو سیشن ہوتا ہے اس میں یا تو ہم بچوں کو لنچ دیتے ہیں یا کوئی ویڈیو یا کیسٹ دکھاتے ہیں یا بچوں کو نماز کے طریقے کے بارے میں بتاتے ہیں۔ میں تمام ان حضرات کا شکریہ ادا کرتا ہوں جو کہ بچوں کو یہاں لے کے آتے ہیں، اور شکریہ۔
Thank you, Anis. Thank you for your address in Urdu. The next is a presentation by our students on the male side. It will be a slide presentation by
Ibrahim right here. It is where Ibrahim was. In this slide, you can see people going to the underground well of MASOM. This is the Kaaba. It is a sealed figure, and many people always pray to it day and night. And here is another view of, here is an aerial view of the Kaaba. This is an aerial view of one of the entrances of the Kaaba and the surrounding city. This is an aerial view of one of the beautiful minarets of the Kaaba. Even disabled people have to go to Hajj. Since they cannot walk around the Kaaba, they have people carrying them. This is a black stone from heaven. Many people fight to go and touch it. This is Saeed. Is where we remember Hagar and her son when they were looking for water and they could not find it. And when Ismail touched the ground with his foot, water came up, and that is well as Zamzam. So we remember this is the E one. Hagar ran from one rock to the other rock looking for water. The E used to, it never used to have the marble on the side, but they perfected it quite a bit. Even disabled people have to do this. They have a wheelchair ramp for old ladies and for ladies who are carrying their children. Many people go to Mosque to ask for du'as and just sit down. These are some men praying on Mount Kira. These are some men asking for their personal du'as. This is a Nigerian man reading the Quran. Notice how he looks so peaceful. When women go to the Kaaba, they usually get tired, and they usually go to places like this to take rest between prayers. This is where they do wudu or prayers. As you can see, everybody is doing wudu, so they can pray in front of the Kaaba. Taking transportation to Arafat can be very crowded, and sometimes it may even be better to walk. This is Arafat, and you can see there are many people. This is an aerial view of Arafat, which is very crowded. This is a view of Mina. As you can see, there are tents all over the place, and these are huge mountains. And people, there are so many tents that if you walk around, you need to carry your flag so you know where you're going. When you go to stay at Arafat, you stay in small camps in Mina. In Mina, you stay in small camps, and sometimes you might even need to go to friends. This is the Masjid Nabawi, one of the minarets, and if you sit in this masjid, you may feel very peaceful. This is one of the minarets where Azan is said. This is also another minaret. As you can see, there are many birds flying around, and if you sit here once again, you may feel very much peaceful as you can meditate. Here people are throwing stones
turn it on? Please be a little patient before they make this technical arrangement so that we can listen to her.
Prophet Muhammad was taken care of by his uncle Abu Talib and who was also a Muslim. At 25, he married to a lady named Shakira, who was basically the first stage of his life. The second stage of his life is when Prophet Muhammad became prophet and spread Islam. He became prophet at the age of 40. At that time, there were many misgivings going on. God gave Muhammad prophet to stop all of these things, especially the idol worshipping at the holy shrine of Kaaba. The Quran was revealed to the prophet at the mountain Sinar. When he had come out of his mountain, he would be trembling and shaking upon hearing the words of God through the angel Gabriel. When God told the prophet to declare Islam, he did. Only some people will listen from the beginning, including Hazrat Ali Abu Talib and Hazrat Ali. Upon their declaration, he received a lot of trouble from the people of Mecca. One day, the enemy of the prophet had decided to kill the prophet because he was causing too many uproars in the city of Mecca. A group of men came to him at night to kill him. Because of the prophet's early instruction, Hazrat Ali was weeping and praising the prophet. The prophet had blessed him with temptation. Even though he was not out of danger, a group of young men tried to catch him, but by another miracle, the prophet was saved. He was hiding in a mountain, and a group of young men had caught up to him. At the entrance, there was a spider web and a poisonous snake. The men assumed no one was in the cave and left. The Prophet Muhammad quickly reached Medina. He had won the battle, but there were many battles yet to be won. A very famous one is Jabal Badr. This was the great battle. Here they had won with the help of Hazrat Ali. Islam spread very quickly throughout.
We run into technical difficulties like during the last presentation, the TV had to be under the curtain and so on and so forth. Let me try and answer this the best I can. We are a committee or a team of teachers here. We firmly believe that the school is made up of three components: the teachers, the students, and the parents. The parents are part of the school. If they are not part of the school, then the school is incomplete. And they have all right to ask these questions, and it is a very reasonable question. I cannot answer this question on behalf of the school committee because I am an individual. I will certainly put this proposal to the school committee and see what they feel. What I am going to say is my personal view. I feel that we can certainly remove the partition between the ladies and the gents, provided that we follow the proper code of Islamic dress in a mixed gathering where ladies and gents have to be together. I think that we have a much better person who can guide you. I'm glad you asked this question. I'm glad that Maulana is here. And he probably can guide us as to how we can solve this problem. Maulana, would you? Yeah, I will try. Maulana, आप मेरी उर्दू को माफ कीजिए. आप देख रहे हो कि ये सेपरेट हो रहा है जेंट्स सेक्शन और लेडीज सेक्शन.
आज वहाँ के ऊपर जितना बड़ा इनकलाब है सिर्फ औरतों की वजह से. आज वहाँ पर नमाज कायम है सिर्फ औरतों की वजह से. आज इतना बड़ा उन्होंने मार्का सर किया और यहाँ पर एक मसला ये आता है और इमाम खुमैनी और तमाम आयतुल्लाहों के सामने मसला आया। अगर यही मसला हो तो सामने की चीज हमारे सामने हज, डॉक्टर साहब गालिबन हज फरमा चुके हैं और आप हजरात भी बाद हजरात जो हज कर चुके हो, खुदा आप तमाम को हज की सारत नसीब करे। आपने हज में देखा होगा कि आप हिंदुस्तान पाकिस्तान के पर्दे को अलग लेके पूरा बुर्का चेहरा ढका हुआ, लेकिन हज पर आप नहीं कर सकते, चेहरे के ऊपर पर्दा नहीं डाला जा सकता। अब वहाँ के हुक्म ये कि साहब मिसाल के तौर पर आप अपनी बीवी को पूरे महल्ले वालों से पर्दा कराते हैं, लेकिन जब हज पर गए तो वही महल्ले वाले आपकी बीवी को देख रहे हैं। अब यहाँ पर हुक्म क्या हो गया, जो तवाफुल निसा रखा गया के लिए, यानी पर्दा जो है अक्ल के लिहाज से, नफ्स के लिहाज से, तहारत के लिहाज से होना चाहिए। अब वहाँ के ऊपर अगर वही महल्ले वाले जिन्होंने कभी आपकी बीवी को नहीं देखा और अब हज पर जाने के बाद देख रहे हैं, अगर वो आगे कहते हैं साहब बड़ा पर्दा कराया मगर हज पर गए खुदा के लिए, तो इसके मानी है कि खुद इमाम खुद ने इसी चीज को दलील बनाया और दलील बना करके पेश किया। तो उसमें शरीयत यह है कि अगर जमात हो रही है और नमाज पढ़ सकती है, आगे नहीं। नकाब होनी चाहिए, वैसे भी वो है कि नकाब के मानी ये नहीं कि चेहरे के ऊपर नकाब को ढकी जाए, बाल ढके हुए हों और फिर मर्द के बैठ सकती हैं। यानी असल पर्दा जो है शर्म हया का है, नजर का है, नफ्स का है। ये पर्दा अगर हमारे दरमियान में है तो कोई माने नहीं है, इस पर्दे से फायदा नहीं। जो आपने बीच में पर्दा लगाया है, अगर हमारे नफ्स में पाकिदगी नहीं, असल पर्दा हमारी आंखों का और हमारे नफ्स का है। हमारे देखने में कोई हर्ज नहीं है, देखने के बाद जो फुतूर पैदा करता है शैतान, उसका असल पर्दा है। इसीलिए इमाम खुमैनी ने इसके ऊपर दलील बना करके कायम किया कि कोई हर्ज नहीं है लड़कों की और लड़कों की तालीम में, कि अगर वो एक जगह के ऊपर तालीम हो, कोई वो नहीं है, मानी नहीं है, लेकिन इस्लामी हुदूद उनके दरमियान रहने चाहिए। लड़की को ये ख्याल होना चाहिए कि मेरा ताल्लुक निस्वानियत से है और अपना तहफ़्फ़ुज़ मुझको अज़्मुल कुरान कितना करना है। लड़कों को यह एहसास होना चाहिए कि मैं लड़का हूँ, मेरे ऊपर शरई हुदूद क्या है, मैं इस लड़की के ऊपर अगर निगाह डालूं तो कितना हराम है और कितना वो है। उस लिहाज से हमारे लिए शरम कोई इश्काल नहीं है इस किस्म का कि अगर एक जगह के ऊपर बाहिनी तौर पर तालीम हो। अस्सलाम वालेकुम।
Shukriya Maulana. It seems that he made a suggestion that is important. And there is no way, even if we observe the dress code, there is no way to read the minds of individuals. And instead of taking those risks, we would rather tolerate the technical difficulties that we undergo and continue the school the way we are continuing separately. That is why we are making use of the mic to coordinate both the sides. However, we will certainly consider this question again and again ask the guidance of our resident alim, and maybe we can come up with a better solution. Any other questions?
आपका जो सजेशन जैसा है जो कर्ज उठाने का है ना, आई थिंक इसमें जो है ना कि लेडीज सर्जन रिस्क नहीं होते मगर कम्युनिकेशन आसान हो सकता है। आई थिंक योर सजेशन इज गुड कि कर्ज उठा के तो एटलीस्ट यू कैन कम्युनिकेट एंड दोज पीपल यू डोंट हैव टू रिमूव द होल कर्टन, यू कैन रिमूव a part of the curtain. Some ladies, if they want to sit behind the curtain, they can sit there, but the kids could be sitting in front and men could be on this side.
Yeah.
I think at least the communication will be a little better.
Yeah. This was Brother Akil Muslim speaking, and he was sort of trying to suggest that we could still sit separately, but with limited partitions so that technically we can be better off. Any other questions?
I have one. Now that we heard what Maulana said and you just said what the President Alam, is this school committee independent enough in making the decision? Once you folks decided that yes, we can combine the classes, is this committee independent enough from the rest of the Muslim associations?
We feel that we are in that sense independent. Although the school is running under the banner of MASOM, which Quran do we use, which textbooks do we use, what syllabus we form, and so on and so forth are decisions that are taken by the school committee, and this was agreed upon between the school committee and the previous president who later resigned. But this was agreed upon, not that we have decided this on our own. earlier that was agreed upon. The important thing, however, is that we should not spread the Sharia. We should not spread any law of Islam to take any decision. Anytime we are doubtful and we are not alim, none of us is, we will certainly consult the right person. And we are privileged to have resident alim, and we will act accordingly. Dr. Shiraz.
If I understand the Maulana correct, I think he just said that you can't have combined classes. And I think it's important for the kids' character building that they should be together.
Sure.
I think you're creating a false impression here. The people are going to go out in the world and they live a different life, and I think they need to lead the same life here as long as you teach them to follow the Sharia properly. I think by putting a curtain, you are avoiding an issue, which is not right.
So you plan to pursue it after?
We certainly plan to pursue it because this, as I say, we are running a school which is made of 3 components.
But you got the Maulana's opinion already.
Right. The most important component is the parent. You know, and you have all right to express your opinions, your views, and we will certainly discuss this in our committee, and we will certainly give it due importance and due regard. Any other questions? Yes, Dr. Mehdi.
I think in school it should be stressed well that Urdu is an important language. Should be taught equally 50% with English. Because most of our alims are spoken in Urdu, at least they sit in the majlis and understand part of it. I think Urdu should be given very important.
Okay, Dr. Mehdi says that since most of the majalises are being conducted in Urdu, the Urdu language should be given due importance so that the students, when they attend majalises, can understand what the alims are saying. This has been a problem in the Western world after the immigration of Muslims to this country. And in many communities, the problem is being solved by conducting majalises at least 50% of the time in English. For example, in Vancouver, Toronto, London, this is being done. And the rest of the half is being conducted in Urdu. I think that we have to approach this problem in both the directions. I think that our alims and our religious scholars have to try to learn English because English is the national language in this part of the world. And at the same time, we must try and teach Urdu to our children so that it works either way. If there are majalises in English, of course, the children will understand. And if there are in Urdu, then they will understand too. It is very difficult to teach Urdu to children. This has been tried at many places and it has not quite been successful. But your point is well taken and we will consider that in our committee.
Yeah. Just adding on that, I would say that teaching Urdu is not the job of this madrasa. Teaching Urdu is the job of the families at home. If they teach their children their language, that is where these people will learn the Urdu. Our job is these people go out and learn everything in English, so we have to teach them in English. And I think that should be our motto.
I think I disagree with that question. Teaching Arabic can be taught in the parents too. It's not the question of teaching Urdu, Arabic, any language. The question is getting the kids together.
Yeah, I think I also disagree with your point because we cannot specify what should be taught in this school. This school is Islamic Institute, as you said, and Islamic Institute can be, Islamic diniyat and everything can be taught in both the languages as well as in English.
Well, let me close this question because I think we have quite a lot of time on this question. In our school, there are students who come from families that speak Gujarati at school, in their home. There are very few of them, but they do. There are also students that speak Farsi because they are Iranian. And there are those that speak Punjabi. There are those that speak Urdu. So there are different kinds of languages that they speak at home depending on their origin and where they come from and their culture and so on and so forth. The common language to everybody is, however, English. That is why we think it's proper to teach everybody in English. But the point that our other functions are conducted in Urdu, as Dr. Mehdi mentioned and Hussein Bhai mentioned, those points are well taken, and we will certainly discuss those. Any other questions? Please, Maulana. I heard that Maulana is trying to learn English. Very nice of him.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम। यहाँ पर अमेरिका में जितने भी हजरात तशरीफ लाए या ताल्लुक इंडिया से है या पाकिस्तान से, पाकिस्तान में भी सिंधी, पंजाबी और पश्तो ज़बान बोली जाती है। हमारे इंडिया में जो आपको उसकी करेंसी पर मिलेंगी तकरीबन 17 ज़बानें राइज हैं, बंगाली, गुजराती, कन्नड़ा और इसी तरह से हिंदी, उर्दू। लेकिन वहाँ के ऊपर जितने भी ये ज़बानें हैं, यानी इतना तक है कि अब हमारे बहुत से मुसलमान जो बेचारे वो नहीं जानते हैं, लेकिन जहाँ तक ज़बान का ताल्लुक है, उर्दू हर बच्चा हर माहौल का समझने वाला जानता है। सिर्फ क्यों? मजहबियात की बिना के ऊपर। उर्दू और अरबी में कोई खास बात नहीं है, सिर्फ चंद हरूफ हैं जो उससे हटे हुए हैं। अगर थोड़ा सा हम गौर करें तो उसको हासिल कर सकते हैं। मेरा जो अभी इधर जाना हुआ न्यूयॉर्क में, न्यू जर्सी और साउथ जर्सी में, तो वहाँ मेरी बातचीत हुई तो मालूम हुआ कि वहाँ अभी हालिया 3 माह के अंदर इस चीज़ के ऊपर गौर किया गया कि अगर उर्दू न पढ़ाई गई तो मजालिस खत्म हो जाएंगे। इसलिए कि मजालिस का एक ख़ास मज़ा होता है, मजालिस का एक टेस्ट होता है, और इस वक्त जितनी भी किताबें आपको इस्लामी मिलेंगी वो सब की सब, यानी आप ज़रूरत को तो पूरी कर सकते हैं इंग्लिश में, लेकिन जो ज़ख़ीरा कहा जाए जमा करने का, वो आप नहीं कर सकते हैं। आप ये मालूम कर सकते हैं कि भाई फातिहा को हम पढ़ लें, मतलब ये ट्रांसलेशन करके तो आप हर चीज़ हासिल कर लेंगे, तो लेकिन आप असल चीज़ को हासिल कर लें, ये अभी मुमकिन नहीं है। इसी बिना के ऊपर उन शहरों में ये मालूम हुआ कि उर्दू उन लोगों ने अपने स्कूल में, जो संडे स्कूल वहाँ चल रहे हैं या और जो दूसरे हैं, सिर्फ मजालिस की बिना के ऊपर के जिक्र आले मोहम्मद हमको आसानी से नहीं मिल सकता है। खाली हम मजलिस को सुन लें तो जाहिर है कि वो भी अगर आप देखें तो इंग्लिश में भी अमेरिकन इंग्लिश और ब्रिटिश इंग्लिश के अंदर फ़र्क हो जाता है। मतलब मैंने सुना जो वहाँ के खतीब यहाँ आते हैं, मतलब शमी मुफ्ती पैन साहब आए यहाँ पर और उन्होंने तकरीर की, तो अक्सर अल्फाज वो होते हैं जो बच्चे नहीं समझ पाते हैं, या तो इस माहौल का बोलने वाला इंग्लिश का हो कि जो वाकई खूबसूरत से हो, तो कितने पैदा होंगे ऐसे अफराद कितने पैदा होंगे, और जाहिर आपको वास्ता आलिम से हराम में पड़ेगा। रेजिडेंट तालीम तो तैयारी करके इंग्लिश आपकी ज़रूरियात को पूरा कर देगा, लेकिन जो आप हिंदुस्तान और पाकिस्तान के जायके चखने के लिए जायकीन को बुलाएंगे, उनका जायका आपको मिलने वाला नहीं है। उस लिहाज से अगर कोई भी टाइम आप चाहे स्कूल में या उसके अलावा और भी कोई प्रोग्राम हो, उसमें उर्दू का रखें, तो मैं ये समझता हूँ कि प्रोग्राम बुरा नहीं है। और उससे ये कि आपका काम सिर्फ प्रोग्राम का रखना है और एक पढ़ाने वाले का इंतजाम कर देना है। जिनको पढ़ना है पढ़े, नहीं पढ़ना है ये उनका फेल है। आपकी तरफ से, क्योंकि आप कैमरे में आपका ये फर्ज बनता है कि आप अपनी तरफ से इंतजाम कर दें कि भाई हमने इंतजाम कर दिया, जो बच्चे पढ़ना चाहते हैं वाकई उर्दू पढ़ें, हमें कुछ एतराज नहीं है। अब ये पढ़ाने वालों के ऊपर खुद हम हिंदुस्तान में देखते हैं कि उर्दू टीचर्स हैं लेकिन लड़के पढ़ने वाले नहीं हैं। गवर्नमेंट ने इंतजाम कर दिया कि जहाँ भी 5 टीचर उर्दू के होंगे, हम लड़के पढ़ने वाले, हमारी तरफ से टीचर मौजूद होगा। अब पढ़ने ना आने वाले हो तो इसमें मुंतजिमीन का कसूर नहीं है, न पढ़ाने वालों का कसूर समझा जाएगा।
I think that the point is clear now, and yes, Dr. Ali.
I think as a suggestion, what you could do is to hold Urdu classes after Zinia,
Yes.
and make it optional because I want to learn and attend it.
I think that's a good idea, and we'll certainly give it a thought. Any questions from ladies? I'm waiting for questions from ladies. You have? We have just started crawling, and then we have to stand, and then we have to walk, and then we have to run. So we have just started. And this idea of Islamic Institute Summer Camp is an excellent idea, especially when we have resources, we have dedicated people who can conduct this, and this is being conducted at other centers regularly on a very large basis. I had the good fortune of discussing this with some members of our community elsewhere who are involved in this camp, and they are very, very fruitful. And inshallah, as we grow, we are only 6 months old, give us some time, we will certainly hold such camp. We have this on our agenda, but we have not reached quite there. Thank you. Second question. When there are functions on Saturday night, the following Sunday our attendance drops because of late night. Parents, please help. This is very important. I mean, there was one night when the function, I think, went on until 2 a.m. and then people who live in Oak Brook or Orland Park or, faraway places, they cannot bring their children the next day in time. And in fact, they don't bring them at all. We have said this again and again. This is in the hands of those who organize these functions, who are in charge of these functions, that the functions should start in time and end in time. We have said this again and again, but that's all we can do. It is up to the executive committee to enforce that functions on the weekend and in time. Is there any other comment on this? Anyone else who wants to comment on this? But this is a real problem we have. We have had 2 setbacks to the school. 1, late function, and 2, when adults fight. I'm sorry to say this, I did not want to bring this up, but these 2 have had a lot of setbacks to our school.
How about starting the school a little bit later, like 1 o'clock? That gives kids to wake up and get ready. Parents also.
I will come to that, but I will give preference to ladies because there are quite a number of questions. I will answer that question. Okay, the third question. Sunday school needs to be extended to 30 more minutes. Will this work out better? Again, it is probably the same question that we have. People live far. We are a little scared at this time to extend the number of hours or the time that we spend in Sunday school. We also, if we start late, then we probably will finish late. And that way we will probably discourage students to come to the school. We are starting at 10:30 in the past. We changed it to 11:30 because we thought that 10:30 was too early. The previous day being a weekend, people go out and sleep late and so on. So 11:30 seems to be a compromise between 10:30 and starting at 12 noon. Dr. Shirazi, I will give you a chance. Let me respond to the lady. Again, a question from lady. It's a long question. During Muharram Majlis, the Majlis is never started on time. And after the Majlis is over, they start giving out food or tabarruk. They take care of 2 hours. And by this time, it is 12 o'clock, not considering the fact that the next day is a working day. Isn't it possible that something can be done about this problem? All the public does not come here to eat, but to listen to the Majlis. What can I say? I'm not one of the... Is there any member of the committee that would like to respond to this? You are one of the committee members. Would you like to take the gauntlet?
Inshallah, we will discuss on that.
Brother Yusuf is here. He is one of the executive committee, and he will probably convey this concern to the executive committee so that this is rectified. Okay, this is last question from the ladies section. You are most welcome to ask more. I would like to know if the presence of our resident Maulana can be utilized to improve the pronunciation of Arabic in reading Quran for the older girls
वालेकुम। कुरान की तालीम अहकामात इस सिलसिले में जो आपका संडे स्कूल चलता है, इधर अयाम अज़ा की मशगूलियात थी और कुछ यहाँ के मकामी नामुसाइद हालात जिसकी बिना पर हमारा प्रोग्राम शुरू नहीं हो सका, वरना संडे में जितने देर भी आपका स्कूल यहाँ रहता है, मैं मुस्तकिल तौर पर अब नेक्स्ट संडे से यहाँ बैठूँगा और हाँ कुरान की तालीम हो या दीनियात की या जो भी आपकी दीनी मुश्किलात हैं, उसके लिए मैं पूरा आपकी कमेटी के साथ और मोमिनीन के साथ और जो वालिदैन यहाँ आते हैं उनके साथ में तामुन करूँगा। मैंने प्रोग्राम ये रखा है कि जो वालिदैन यहाँ अपने बच्चों को लेकर आते हैं, तो जितनी देर यहाँ स्कूल चलता है यही बराबर में बैठने का इंतजाम कर दिया गया है, ऊपर ही कुर्सियाँ लगा दी गई हैं और उतनी देर में यहाँ बच्चों का स्कूल होता रहेगा। मैं कुछ देर उनका यानी इस्लामी मसाइल और दूसरी ज़रूरियात की चीज़ें जो हैं, वो जो भी क्वेश्चन करें उनके जवाब मैं देता रहूँगा। जो टीचर्स यहाँ पढ़ाते हैं उनकी बारे में भी मुझसे बातचीत हुई। अशरफ खान ने एक मरतबा पैगाम दिया और मरहूम फातिमा ने भी ये सवाल मुझसे कराया था, तो उनके लिए भी मैंने कहा कि जब आप यहाँ स्कूल तमाम कर लें, आधा घंटा या जितना भी टाइम इन टीचर्स के पास आसानी से हो, उतनी देर हम बैठ करके आप अपने एजुकेशन के ऊपर, पुरानी तालीमात के ऊपर बात कर सकते हैं। और उसके अलावा जितनी देर भी आपका स्कूल रहेगा मैं यहाँ हाजिर रहूँगा आपके पास और पूरा तामुन मैं आपका करूँगा। उसके अलावा मैं मौजूद हूँ यहाँ के ऊपर, फ़ोन नंबर मेरा आपके न्यूज़ पेपर में भी है और सब जगह लिखे हुए हैं, तो उनसे आप जब चाहें मसाइल मालूम कर लेते हैं। उसके अलावा खुद जिसका ताल्लुक खुद आपके इस इस्लामिक इंस्टीट्यूट ही के तहत है, ये नहीं कि कोई प्रोग्राम अलहदा है कि संडे को आप यहाँ आते हैं, वो हजरात जो संडे को नहीं आ सकते हैं या वो हजरात जो दूर रहते हैं, बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं वो आते हैं, उनके तहत एक आसानी यानी इसका ताल्लुक भी आपके इस इंस्टीट्यूट और मासूम कमेटी जो है, कोई अलहदा कोई किसी किस्म का प्रोग्राम नहीं। उसमें मैंने ड्राइविंग लाइसेंस ले लिया है और मैं खुद आप लोग जो भी प्रोग्राम बनाए, बड़े छोटे बच्चे उन सब के लिए, लेकिन टाइम की पाबंदी, ना चाय पिलाने का इंतजाम, ना किसी चीज, सिर्फ ये कि मुझे मालूम होना चाहिए कि आप 10 आदमी अपने बच्चों को लेकर या खुद आप यहाँ बैठ रहे हैं। बड़ों की तालीम के लिए, छोटों की तालीम के लिए मंडे, फ्राइडे, मंडे, सैटरडे, ट्यूसडे, संडे इस स्कूल के बाद यानी शाम में जो भी प्रोग्राम अपने घर रखना चाहें, ये उनकी चॉइस के ऊपर है। और वेडनेसडे, ये 3 प्रोग्राम जो है इसी स्कूल के तहत होंगे, कि कोई ये नहीं कि अलग कोई प्रोग्राम है। जो साहिबान भी अपने यहाँ प्रोग्राम रखना चाहे और अपने महल्ले के लोगों को जमा करना चाहे, जिसमें अखलाकियात की तालीम, अहादीस की तालीम, कुरान की तालीम और उसमें उर्दू भी हो जाएगी। ये आप हजरात की चॉइस के ऊपर, इस सिलसिले में आप काजी साहब से राबिता कर सकते हैं, मुझसे राबिता कर सकते हैं या जो आपकी मासूम कमेटी है उससे राबिता कर सकते हैं। बाकी पूरी हेल्प करने के लिए हर वक्त मैं आपके सामने तैयार।
I think he has made the point very clear that he is at our service, and I sort of misstated earlier that there are 3 components of the school. There are 4. Maulana is one of them. So the initiative has to be from us. If we want to learn, if we want our children to learn better Arabic pronunciation, better Quranic pronunciation, he is prepared to give his services to the extent that he is prepared to come to you rather than you going to him. Dr. Shiraz, you had a question. I did not mean to ignore it.
No. I think I have an opinion about the timings. I think the timing should be fixed for the school. You cannot vary them depending on what happened the day before. Secondly, I think for those of us that do work on the weekend, I think we need to get done by 1 o'clock or 1:30. I don't think you can go to 3 or 3:30. The whole day is in that place.
We have not varied the time. We have fixed at 11:30 and then we usually finish by 1:15 or so. And that is the very reason, because the parents are, many parents work on Saturdays and so on. But we do request Brother Yusuf to convey to the executive committee to please arrange functions in time on weekends, especially on weekends, so that our children don't suffer. Any other questions? Akil Muslim.
I found this session to be very interesting. I think because a lot of parents are involved in it, and kids cannot learn unless the parents are involved. That's for sure. Okay. and I want you to keep this kind of sessions again in the future too. Maybe every 2 months or so. I know it will take up time, but I think but the overall effect will be very nice one.
Thank you. In response to your question, the next item on the agenda, and we will cut this agenda short, is a speech by Sister Munawar Mutwi that would probably answer or respond to what Akil said. Sister Munawar Mutwi.
We can have a basis of competition, whereas we can give our children prizes and recognition awards for them coming here. That will, I feel, increase the incentive to come here even more often. Like every class has its own first, second, and third, something like that.
We have been doing that. We did hold a test last time, and those students who did good were awarded. We were not very generous in those awards, but we will improve. Thank you for the suggestion.
Dr. 1978 and 79, I was used to be the president of MASOM.
I remember.
At that time, Mrs. Fatma Kanji, Dr. Kanji's wife, she was chairperson for the MASOM Association. And she did a fantastic job, and this is a continuation of the past performances. And at that time, there were used to be rewards for all the students, and during the functions like sessions, the kids were given the present for doing whatever the stuff work they have been doing in the class. And that was a big encouragement for the students. And you can think about that too, to give some kind of reward.
Yeah, we have that in our policies, and we will do that. As I said, we have some setbacks, and I mentioned those. And we sort of try to overcome those setbacks before we enter the next step. So now I think we are ending the question and answer session. And many questions will address the future needs. But we also want to tell you what our future needs are. And one of the two speakers is Sister Munawar Mutwi. Please, out of respect.
Respected chairman, teachers, parents, and dear students. Assalamu alaikum. Our goal is to teach your child as a good Muslim, a lover of Al-Adab, to enjoy what is allowed in Islam, and to stay away what is forbidden. You as a parent must set this goal. Your child spends about 2 hours in the entire week in Marshall School. This should not be the only 2 hours your child spends on Islam. You need to spend half hour daily and at least 1 hour on Saturday. Making sure child does homework, encourage them to write essays or express their thoughts on Islam. In a way, parents are extension. Follow the Islamic way in the house, otherwise child may be confused. We have divided the students according to their knowledge. If you have any questions, you may feel free to ask. We need more teachers in the future. If anyone else is going to help us, you feel free to give your name. Thank you.
And this will be followed by a speech on the same subject by Brother Yusuf, and this will be the last item on the agenda. But before I let him take the mic, I would like to apologize to some of the participants who were supposed to speak, but I could not include those because of the constraint of time. So I apologize to Sister Sajida Mehdi, Sister Zahra Ali, Sister Shirin Roji, or Sister Samina Akbari, Sister Elham Javed, because we are running out of time. But we do appreciate that you are active participants in the school. May Allah bless you. And please don't feel bad that you did not get an opportunity to be on the mic. Also, before Brother Yusuf speaks, we have a library in the school. We encourage the students to borrow books from the library. When they borrow books, some of these books are not brought back. So we have imposed a deposit, which is returnable, of $5. Please encourage your students to borrow these books. There are certain books which are known as teachings in Islam. There are 7 such books. Roshan, you know about those books. And those are very useful books. I think the parents can go through those books with the students at home. We also encourage family prayer. We also encourage that you pray together at home. The life in this country is such that when the father leaves, the family is still sleeping, everybody is hurrying in the morning, in the afternoon everyone is at work, but at night you can pray together. So we also encourage all the children to pray as family when they are at home, at least once. We also try to inculcate the feeling of familyhood in their school. And we tell our teachers that when, our students, that when you leave your home in the morning, you remember Allah and you remember our present Imam, Hazrat Hujjatullah, and pray to him to protect not only you and your parents and bring you safely home, but pray for the entire school, so that we are trying to sort of look upon this school as a family. After Brother Yusuf has finished his speech, I think we will go to Azan and we will ask Maulana to lead Namaz al-Dhuhr and Asr. Although the program in the previously was different, but since Maulana is here, I would apologize to our students, Raza Hussain and Sajjad Hussain, because Maulana is here, it is proper that he leads the prayer. Although
in other states, like in Medina, New York, and Toronto, and other places. The school needs to develop a program for students, like contests among students, essay writing, seminars, and summer camps, and extended hours of school during summer. We usually have some of the system that should be instituted. The school needs to have a program that should be available to those students who wish to pursue advanced study in Islam. The school needs to introduce special programs during the year which coincide with the school holidays, like on the forthcoming Thanksgiving Day. That day we may celebrate a special day, maybe a seminar, essay writing, or contest. The important reason for this system is to encourage the students to look forward and to willingness to attend and to participate in the curricular activities which is due to take place. And to lesser extent, it will keep away your child from the other unwilling activities of the society. In conclusion, we must emphasize that we all need to strive and struggle to walk on the footprint of our life and to attain the mercy and the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and our children should follow the same in our present as well as in our absence. Remember, we are not only responsible for them, but for the generations to come. We want our generation should prosper and cherish Islamic way of life. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and our Imam alayhi salam help us to attain our goal. Amen. Wa salam.
thank you, Brother Yusuf. I am about to be very unpopular here because there is a message from the ladies section that they have been preparing what they want to speak for the last 3 days. So can we bear for a few more minutes so that they can present whatever they want? So that the time is running out. Thank you. Yeah, Bismillah. Sister Dera Ali, please present the surah that you wanted to recite. Bismillah.
Amina Akbari, Bismillah.
In the name of God, the only daughter of Holy Prophet Muhammad Khalifa, was born on Friday, 20th of Jamadan ul Akhir. The mother's blessing and affection received from the mother Prophet was only on 5 years, after which the mother Khalifa left from heaven with her. Hereafter, the Holy Prophet brought up. The mother Fatima was married to Abu Ali on Friday, 1st of April. Their children, Imam Hassan, Imam Hussein, Janab Zainab, and Janab Yusuf, are well known for their piety, goodness, and generosity. Their strength of character and acts changed their course of history and the first time Islam, which otherwise would be lost today.
Aslan, Rahmatullahi alayhi. Sister Ilham Javed. Bismillah.
The Holy Prophet, Muhammad Mustafa, his name is Muhammad. His title is Al-Mustafa. He was born at Mecca on Friday the 17th of Ramadan. His father's name is Abdul Muttalib. His mother's name is Amina bint Wahid. He died at the age of 53 years and only son Mustafa, to live in her name. He was buried in the apartment joining the Jamaat of Medina. In the 7th century, the Christians a youthful man in the prime of his life could consume wealthy and enjoy success, using his own thoughts, yet with a gentle smile. Someone forgetting to be turned up to the villages of the lowest of the province who kindly watched the children who flocked around him wherever he went. The young man with deep visual eyes and three gentle disposition, pinpoint sensitive about human suffering, carries with him an air of nobility and grace that inspired love and respect amongst his students. Even in those days, he was known as Amin, truthful and trusted. In later years, he came to be known as Muhammad, the prophet of Islam, the last messenger of God.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. Sister Fariha Kazmi, Surah Ikhlas. That's what she's going to recite.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Qul huwallahu ahad, Allahu samad, lam yalid wa lam yulad wa lam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. Now I will request translation. The hadith of the 300 meters 7 times. Everything here displays movement and order and obedience. Although Israel uses his asked God to protect his wife and son, this woman didn't just sit until God gave her something so tidy. She was running around and speaking and doing her best to earn rest. She was molded, hopeful, inspired, super wise, and realistic, but homemade. This is a lesson to find water and bread with love and fire. Then he would come out of the Kaaba and go for Arafah. In the 19th month of this Hajj, this day in Arafah. On the night of the 10th, this day in Makkah and pick pebbles. From the 10th to 13th day, this day in Mina. Here you become fighting with the captain, with discipline, separation. After your ideological background, you have become a revolutionary person and a captain of your side. And after all, on the day of sacrifice, whatever is precious and valuable for you it reigns, your education, your money, your family, look and listen from Ibrahim and be ready to use and sacrifice in the way of God. Thank you.
Like a cool. Very good. I wish I could be that fluent. Lastly, Sister Siri Rauji will speak sayings of Hazrat Ali alayhi salam.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Have you fully realized what Islam is? It is a religion founded on truth. It is such a fountainhead of learning that from it flows out several streams of wisdom and knowledge. It is such a lamp. It is a set of principles and beliefs which will satisfy every seeker of truth and reality. Know you all that God has made Islam the most sublime path towards his supreme pleasure and the highest standard of his worship and obedience. He has favored it with noble precepts, exalted principles, undoubtable arguments, unchallengeable supremacy, and undeniable wisdom. It is up to you to maintain the eminence and dignity granted to it by the Lord, to follow it sincerely, to do justice to its articles or faith and belief, to implicitly obey its tenets and orders, and to give it the proper place in your lives. Thank you.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala Muhammad. Thank you very much, Hassan. One of our students to come and say Azan. I have to say just for 1 minute a few words. I am extremely, extremely, extremely grateful to the teachers who have supported this school with dedication that words cannot describe. That's all I can say for the teachers who come here selflessly without any personal gain or benefit, come to teach our children in the name of Allah. And I just cannot thank them more. I stand here to apologize on my behalf and on my wife's behalf if we have in any way hurt anybody's feelings, knowingly or unknowingly. I hope that you will forgive us. It is always very healthy to have changes in any institute that you run. And I'll be stepping down from this institute as the term ends in December, and I hope one of our present teachers will take up this job of continuing, expanding the good work that we have started. I have recommended the name, and I am going to be bold and courageous about it. I have recommended the name of Brother Abdul Hussain and Sister Hussain to continue what Mrs. Kanji and I have been doing. Again, thank you very much for your support, and please forgive us if we have done or said anything that has hurt anybody. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad.
الفلاح حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على خير ومل حي على خير ومل الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله
اللهم صل على
Daddy, did I finish?
مختار في صلوات Okay, stay there. खड़े इधर इधर हट इधर हाँ बस हाँ करो
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن من المؤمنين يصلون على سيدنا والصلوات أشهد أن من المؤمنين يصلون على سيدنا والصلوات حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة أصحاب يا خير الوقت يا خير الوقت نعم اسمع نعم اسمع الله أكبر الله أكبر Now, why daddy very money? Hello.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم ربنا اغفر لي ولوالدي وللمسلمين يوم يقوم الحساب اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم الله أكبر سبحان ربي العظيم وبحمده سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد الله أكبر الله أكبر سبحان
رب العلا وبحمده سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل
الله أكبر استغفر الله العظيم وأتوب إليه الله أكبر
سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد
الله أكبر الحمد لله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد ولله القوة اليقين والتوفيق الله أكبر سبحان ربي العظيم وبحمده سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد ومن الله لمن حمده الله أكبر سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله الله أكبر استغفر الله ربي وأتوب إليه الله أكبر سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد الله أكبر قول الله بقوته يقينه وعلمه الله أكبر سبحان ربي العظيم وبحمده سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله إن الله الله أكبر سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله الله أكبر استغفر الله ربي وأتوب إليه الله أكبر سبحان ربي الأعلى وبحمده سبحان الله سبحان الله سبحان الله اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد الله أكبر الحمد لله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد السلام عليك ورحمة الله وبركاته السلام علينا وعلى عباد الله الصالحين السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم كن لوليك الحجة ابن الحسن الأشكري صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا قائدا وناصرا دليلا معينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها قليلا
أن محمد رسول الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله أشهد أن أمير المؤمنين وإمام المتقين عليا ولي الله أشهد أن أمير المؤمنين وإمام المتقين عليا حجة الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح حي على خير العمل حي على خير العمل قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم إني أسألك بحق محمد وأنت المحمود، وبحق علي وأنت العالى، وبحق فاطمة وأنت فاطر السماوات والأرض، وبحق الحسن وأنت المحسن، وبحق الحسين وأنت قديم الإحسان، وبحق الأئمة الستة الطاهرين من ذرية الحسين عليهم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. پروردگار بحق محمد وآل محمد ہماری اس قریب سے عبادت کو قبول فرما. بارگاہ مومن و مومنات کو بیماروں کو شفا کلی عطا فرما. جو مقروض ہوں کے قرض کو ادا فرما. جو بے اولاد ہوں کو نعمت اولاد عطا فرما. جو اولاد نرینہ سے محروم ہوں ان کو اولاد نرینہ عطا فرما. پروردگار بحق اہل بیت اطہار علیہ السلام تمام مومن و مومنات کو حج و زیارات سے مشرف فرما. بار اللہ جو حج و زیارات سے مشرف ہو چکے ان کو دوبارہ جانے کی توفیق عطا فرما. پورے جہان میں شیعان حیدر قرار جہاں جہاں آباد ہوں کی جان و مال کا تحفظ فرما. ظالمین و جابرین کو جیت کو نابود فرما. پروردگارہ ہمارے یہاں جو محتاج ہوں کو غنی فرما. پروردگارہ جو پریشانی حال ہوں ان کی پریشانی کو دور فرما. پروردگارہ حاضر و غائب مومنین کی پریشانیوں کو دور فرما. پروردگارہ بحق محمد والے محمد ہم کو احکامات اسلامی پر کاربند ہونے کی توفیق عطا فرما. ہمارے دلی نفاق کو ختم فرما. ملت اسلامی میں اتفاق اتحاد و اتفاق کو قائم و دائم فرما. پروردگارہ ہمارے بچوں کو بہتر سے بہتر ہم کو تربیت اسلامی کرنے کی توفیق عطا فرما. جو مومن و مومنات پر حکم ہو چکے ان کو برف میں مغفرت اور رحمت نازل فرما. پروردگارہ بحق محمد والی محمد ہمارے علماء اعلام کا تحفظ فرما. خصوصاً رائے انقلاب امام حسین اور رائے اللہ القاسم بخوئی گلشاد السلم رسول حیات عطا فرما. بار الہ جو علماء اعلام استقال فرما جس ان کے درجات کو اعلیٰ و ارفع فرما. پروردگارہ بحق حضرت زہرا سلام اللہ علیہ اور بحق حضرت حجت ظالم صدام صدامی اور آل سعود کو جس کو نابود فرما. کربلا اور خود و خانہ کعبہ کو آزاد فرما. بار الہ اگر اس دنیا میں باقی رکھنا تو محبت اہل بیت پر قائم و دائم فرما. بار الہ اس دنیا سے اٹھانا تو محبت اہل بیت پر اٹھا. پروردگارہ تمام مومن و مومنات کو کسی کا محتاج نہ رکھنا سوائے کر اہل بیت کے. کسی غم میں مبتلا نہ کرنا سوائے غم اہل بیت کے. پروردگارہ حضرت حجت علیہ السلام کے ظہور میں تاجیل فرما. ان کے اعمال و اقدار میں ہمارا شمار فرما. ربنا اغفر لي ولوالدي وللمسلمين يوم يقوم الحساب. اللهم اغفر لنا وارحمنا وآتنا وارحمنا في الدنيا والآخرة إنك على كل شيء قدير. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل السلام علیکم یا باپ اللہ. السلام علیکم یا ابن رسول اللہ. السلام علیکم یا ابن امیر المومنین. السلام علیکم یا ابن فاطمہ الزہرا سیدۃ النساء العالمین. السلام علیکم ورحمۃ اللہ وبرکاتہ. السلام علیکم یا غیب الزبا. السلام علیکم یا سلطان یا روح ورحمۃ اللہ وبرکاتہ. السلام علیکم یا صاحب الزمان. السلام علیکم یا خلیفۃ الرحمان. السلام علیکم یا امام الانتظام. السلام علیکم یا مظہر الامام. السلام علیکم یا سید خان. السلام علیکم ورحمۃ اللہ وبرکاتہ.
Come here, Abbas, you can see the lens go berserk. Abbas, come here. Watch when people walk by, the lens is going to go berserk, especially in front of the girls. See how it's oh, see the adjusting to your head. Oh, see how far it's stretched out though. I'm walking to look like this whole thing. He does help with the dad, right, Mom? Well, Kilo, how are you?
Yeah, you
Boss, don't listen to the kid. Oh, you can't, you're blind from there.
Cole, take a look at this. You know, this is the thing that you put like on there.
Yeah. Future for our generation. What are we looking at right now? These guys make the best VCRs in the world. What happened, Mom? What did you do? Did you break something?
Well, I want to see it. It's your ear, guys.
What the hell else? It's done. You won't leave it just like this.
Daddy, they're crazy, Dad.
You are.
You know, I don't see any guys working here. Standing in the
What?
I don't see any guys working here.
What?
Yes, they're coming.
I like them. I want to see the whole
Okay, that's like a dessert, okay? After you eat food, then you're gonna get the dessert. Oh yeah. That's sweet, okay? See, they're coming. They're mushroom डॉक्टर साहब आप भी आ जाएंगे ना तब तक शुरू करेंगे
Sit down and eat.
Is it